Tonight, on this edition of The Six, we're going to tell you guys how to keep your woman from self-destructing. We're going to talk about the things that are necessary. We're going to tell you why. We're going to give you the answers in terms of why your woman is self-destructive by nature. A lot of guys want to know, well, women are self-destructive by nature. Why is that? EO and I talked about that yesterday. We're going to continue that conversation now with special guest, star of Temptation Island Season 3, Kendall Kirkland. The panel discusses next. The Six starts right now. What's going on, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of The Six. Of course, there's always a production snafu. There we go. Now we're looking good. Now we're looking the way we're supposed to look. Welcome to this edition of The Six. I, of course, am your humble, well, not so humble correspondent, Donovan Sharp. We have a fantastic show in store for you guys today. But you guys didn't tune in to hear me run my mouth. Let me introduce tonight's esteemed panel. First up, the man up in the 312. Well, the first man up in the 312. It is Coach Everett Overton. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I had to run downstairs and get my dog outside. I'm showing my age right now. Shit.
Were you huffing and puffing? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Good to see everybody on here. We got a guest tonight, so welcome the gentleman here. And we got a good show. I'm Coach EO. Good to be back. Like Donovan said, we kind of started this last night, but tonight we got the esteemed panel, so we're going to go in. Good stuff, man.
Even though you're winded, man, your opening salvo was still a little bit longer. I've got to give you some credit on that one.
Hey, it's a long way down, man. It's a long way down.
Next to the porta potties, right? Yeah. Next up is the man from the dirty South. It is Dr. BOA, the Book of Alpharonomy. How's it going, man? Unmute yourself, BOA, if you would.
He's already getting into it. Yeah,
there we go.
Players mess up too.
That's all good, right?
Hey, man, look, I appreciate you having me on, man. Another show, man. Another season, man. This should be a great topic.
Yes.
Yo, great minds think alike, man. I've been hunting for those late '90s Fila Grant Hill sneakers, man. They hard to come by, boy, but if I can get them, it's on.
I saw them for two.
Savo.
Hey, real talk. I saw them for 200 on eBay on eSpay the other day.
Did you?
I did. I'll send you the link.
Do that.
All right,
Don't
let's
forget
do it.
me, bro. Don't forget.
No,
me.
I got you.
You know, this will be a great show tonight, man. And it's always good to hear young men, man, give their opinion, man. So I'm looking forward to hearing our guest, man, share his thoughts on it as well. Should be a good show, man.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Next up, the second guy down there in the 312, the ordained minister of these streets. It's Minister Jap. Oh, shit. Was that the remix? Does this dude have was that the remix of the organ? What the fuck's going on?
I'm DJing. I'm on my Kid Capri. But hey, man, shout out to everybody on the panel, man. Minister Jap, you know what we about to do? We gonna cook.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I'm told that the guests' volumes are low, so I'm going to turn those up. Now, Hotep Jesus is actually dealing with an illness, so he's not going to be with us today. But last up on the panel, before we introduce our guest, it is the youngest man on the panel. It's the man up in the CT. It is Kevin Savo, whose channel is The Fellas on YouTube.
Yeah, put in the Fellas Thought Mommies, because there's a podcast channel called The Fellas, and they're British. I don't know why they called it that. It should be called like The Mates.
So what is it? Is it Thought Mommies in the Club?
Yeah, it don't even make sense for a bunch of British cats to be like, yeah, I'm cooling with the fellas.
Thought Mommy's in the club. She's going to need a babysitter.
Yeah, don't even make sense. So put in the Fellas Thought Mommies. Yeah, I'm Savo, and I'm not the only rapper or the only actor on the panel, but I'll say no more than that.
Say what? You're trying to out somebody. And last, but certainly not least, my guest this evening, he's actually been on the show before. It is the star of Temptation Island Season 3. It is Kendall Kirkland. Kendall, how's it going, man?
Man, it's going well. I'm excited to get to know everybody. Definitely have a great conversation. Soak in as much as I can and bring some value. So I'm excited.
All right, let me ask you something here, Kendall.
Okay.
When you and I had our conversation for the very first time on the air, it was really cool to see your face light up like, oh my God, I've been thinking this stuff all my life. Now that you understand what it's really like in terms of relationships, how has that changed your life or the people around you, or do you just stay quiet about it?
I feel like, well, my personality type, I'm very assertive. So
Okay.
any woman that I deal with now, I let the expectations be known from the jump.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's helped me in the dating scene. It's helped me in relationships. It's helped me with friends and family. When they tell me about certain things,
Mhm.
I tell them a lot what to look out for, because it's really simple. The more that you learn, the easier it is to navigate and avoid problems, because you can learn from somebody else's experience. You don't
Sure.
have to go through what everybody else went through consistently. When you see what other people go through, it's not going to work out for them.
Dude, listen, Kevin, like this dude is telling me exactly what you told me, right? Like
What's
it's
he
like,
telling you?
well, it's like young guys these days don't really see. What I always endorse that we as men, we don't
Yeah.
need to be taught lessons. We need to learn lessons. But it appears that young guys like you and Kendall are like, well, wait a minute. I don't have to stick my hand on the hot stove to know it's a hot stove. I'll just look at the burn marks on all these old motherfuckers around me, and I'll know what's going on, man. That's incredible.
Exactly.
Is that a shift in today's young man, or is that just something that you two have decided to do?
Yeah,
Oh.
take it or
No, I'll take it real quick. I was actually going to say, right when you were bringing that up, it's
Yeah.
not just the YouTube videos. When you see young guys that are red pill aware, it's not just the YouTube videos, and it's not just books and information. It's the experience that's the catalyst to finding the information. If you didn't experience it firsthand, if you didn't have your experience with women, you have no 2 and 2 to put together. But then when you find the books and the YouTube videos, or you find a Donovan Sharp channel, or you find guys like the guys that are on the panel, if you lived through enough, then it comes into perspective. But if you didn't live through enough, or you didn't date enough women, or you didn't have enough experience, it means nothing to find like an alpha male strategies channel. It's just like, what is this? What are they talking about? They're like
Right.
shitting on hoes. That's kind of disrespectful, right?
Right, exactly.
So experience counts. It's about what you live through, and then the information capitalizes on it.
Okay, very good. I guess that helps the information
Too,
stick. Go ahead, Jap.
that the younger generation doesn't really have, and I pretty much I keep bringing this up, is that we have terrible old heads.
Yes, we do.
You know what I'm saying?
We
Like,
do.
Blue pill old heads.
Yes, like we have very, very terrible old elder advisors. Like, and it's terrible when you're like, I'm a 38-year-old man, and I got 50, 60-year-old guys binge watching my information.
Right. That's incredible. It shouldn't be that way, right?
And that's what hindered this other generation, because now they just bred a bunch of simps into divorce and stepdaddyhood.
Oh yeah,
So,
stepdaddy season.
EO said too. EO has had older clients like well into their 50s, correct? Didn't you say something like that?
Yeah, I would say it's peaking now that they're 50 and above.
Wow.
Which is what I actually want. I would actually prefer that demographic, because they generally have money at that age.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm trying to get that 10K. But I'm trying to go for those annual contracts.
Right,
So,
right.
Definitely, I'm getting those divorcees, the guys who've only been with one woman in their entire life. They go through a divorce. Now they're looking at these damn zombies out here. They're like, yo, how the hell do I navigate in these streets? So, I gotta at least get them looking the part, thinking the part, and they go out there and actually performing and experiencing again. So.
Perfect.
And look,
Go ahead, Billy.
And I tell you another thing, man. With some of those older guys, man, they've been stuck in that provider
Oh
mode
yes.
for so long.
Oh yes.
For so long.
Oh yes.
They get out of it. Any young chick can get them to jump right back into a marriage, man. Like, they'll chase a chick who's just leading them,
It's
stringing them
incredible.
along, and they trying to pretty much beg her, force her to marry them, put them right back in there, and they end up giving up everything they got without the ring this time.
God
And I'm like,
damn.
man, you gotta.
The bitches know the
I think
game.
it helps, man, to keep yourself in pretty good shape, man. Because I give you a quick example right quick before we go on.
Go,
man.
do it. Take your time.
I have an example of Farrakhan talking when he was a younger man.
Okay.
His whole outlook on relationships and women is different than it is now.
Really?
He was all 100% red pill. Now, man, how you such a fool? How you gonna let your love for the woman interfere in your life? This is young Farrakhan. Older Farrakhan now is like,
He's simp now.
women are the jewel of the world, and
Oh God.
If you don't put the woman before you, then you don't love God. And now he's on that now.
Jesus Christ.
So when
Yeah.
your dick stop working, your outlook on women changes because
That's
you
true.
lose that physical connection to them. That's the number one way that you could dominate a woman. A broke man could dominate a woman.
Damn right. Damn
And
right.
when you
Colin
lose that, man,
Farrakhan
you lose
is
your edge.
Colin Farrakhan is
Yeah,
saying
and you know what
that's
he's trying to
controversial.
do is get them women back. He's probably losing the church a bit.
Listen,
so
he's
you gotta
making a
get the
business
women back.
decision.
You get the women back, you get the men back.
Listen, EO is right. Farrakhan is clearly making a business decision. Listen, none of us on this panel believes that Steve Harvey actually believes the bullshit he tells women. None of us
Not
believe
at all.
that. None of us believes that Dr. Phil believes the bullshit he tells women. These dudes are, trust me, they have the red mindset through and through. But it's not profitable for them to tell women. Listen, we say this on the panel all the time. If you want to get rich, just tell women pretty lies. You can't listen. This is why we are where we are, because we don't tell pretty lies. I mean, any one of us could be Derek Jackson or Matthew Hussey, et cetera, et cetera. But no, what we talk about here is it is completely rooted in truth.
Don, speaking of
Go ahead.
Derek Jackson, remember we had that one show?
Oh
I
yes.
told you my homie
Mhm.
Derek Jackson in real
Yep.
life, and Derek
Mhm.
Jackson
Is
a
that nigga.
real ass nigga.
I told you he was, man. I told you he was.
He's not. He is. He cook bitches. He cuss them out. He smutting them out.
Look. Here's
That's
Derek
it.
Jackson. He's like, stretch mark lover. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with
He
that
does
stretch mark
not
lover.
believe none of that shit.
No. Of course not. Any man with options, any man with consistent options knows what it's really like out here in these streets. Slambright with the $5 super chat says the 6 Red Pill Avengers destroying Effinist agenda and these evil 304s. RIP RP Mike, $10 super chat says on topic. It is no coincidence that the woman with the worst attitudes are the easiest to sleep with, and the women with the best attitudes are the hardest to sleep with. I agree with that 100%. I Kill $5 says, none of y'all know what you're talking about, Farrakhan. I respectfully disagree. Listen, Farrakhan's made a business decision. If you're telling us that we don't know what we're talking about, all we have to go on is what Farrakhan gives to the public. Now, behind closed doors, he really could be a Derek Jackson. Blue pill on the outside, red pill on the inside. But as far as I'm concerned, Farrakhan made a business decision trying to get the bitches back in the church. So I'm not trying to hear that we don't know. Unless you're the minister Farrakhan yourself. Listen, due respect, appreciate the $5 super chat, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, fam.
I knew
Appreciate
that one was going to be controversial.
Yeah, well, hey, guess what? It is what it is. So the topic of the evening is why women need to be protected from themselves and how they do it. Now, real quick, everyone who is on the panel, take out your phone, make sure you're paying attention to the live stream, because I've got some next level production in terms of letting you guys know who is going to be the next to speak. So put it on mute, check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I worked hard on it today, and I'm glad it works. So here's the deal, guys. Women need to be protected from themselves. Women are overgrown children. And I said yesterday on Elite Level Game, the reason why women need to be protected from themselves, one of the many, many reasons why, is because they have it too easy. Women can afford to make life-changing, disastrous decisions and still live a decent life. A woman could have 4 kids with 4 different men and still live a decent life. And so when women are encouraged to make bad decisions and then shielded from their bad decisions, it should come as no surprise in terms of why women need to be protected from themselves. It's children with dynamite. You have these beings who are they're sexually attractive to just about every man they meet, but they have the maturity of a 16-year-old. So I'm going to start with Kendall. I'm going to start with Kendall on this one, because I'll tell you what, man. The interesting thing is when we're watching Temptation Island, we all knew in my audience, we're like, okay, this dude is a real one, because he says, you know what? My girlfriend she doesn't see things through till the end. Like, she's doing 1, 2, see, you're already starting to giving up halfway. You had the foresight and the wherewithal to say, hey, I'm the captain of the ship. I'm responsible for your well-being. Did you do that with the intent of knowing that women are self-destructive, or is this just something that just naturally comes to you as a young guy?
I think it was a combination of both. So anytime I seen, in a lot of situations I've been with, not just with Erica, when I've been with women and they just do things on their own, I see from the fruits
Okay.
that they did not have, and things that tarnished because of the decisions that they made. They've been put into the perfect situation, but then they still fumbled the ball or made the wrong decision.
Right.
So I know every time I come into a woman's life, I always bring some form of improvement.
Good.
Or I bring value and I let them know things that they didn't know before. Like, hey, if you're already working your job, you can't go and spend half of your paycheck just because you want to go and shop. If you have goals and other things that you're trying to do, like, it doesn't logically make sense to me. So when I was there, my goal was to try to see what's the best partner for me, because one thing I was always looking for was somebody who's consistent, someone who's ambitious, and somebody who's resilient. And I did not see that in my partner at the time. So when I said I was trying to explore every single option and see what's going to be the best for me, I really did that. Like, I didn't go there to play games.
Right. And explore other options. He did. No pun. Actually, yeah, pun definitely intended. Yeah, we're going to definitely rib him about that. EO, what are your thoughts? Now, I guess we can continue this conversation from yesterday, but just give sort of the Reader's Digest version on why Everett Overton believes that women need to be protected from themselves.
Well, again, I look at everything like a business, and like I always give the football coach analogy. You know? Like for example, Antonio Brown, he had a lot of trouble in the media. He there was a lot of domestic violence. There was a lot of shit. Okay. So the only team that was really willing to take him in was Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, because there was a relationship formed there and there was some trust formed there.
Right.
Okay. He pretty much could keep Antonio from self-destructing. Okay.
Yes.
Tom was the guy to do that. So that's the only reason why he made it to the Buccaneers, because Tom went to bat for him and said, hey, listen, I got a relationship with this guy. He trusts me. I took him in my house. I showed him how to live. I got him eating different now. He's eating kale salads and shit. So Antonio Brown saw like him as a savior to him in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Like, hey, Tom's giving me another chance. I'm not going to blow it. So they gave him a 1-year deal. They went in and got a ring. They brought him back for another season. So it's that same principle. It's like, hey, there's going to be some women out here that have some talents that you can leverage. But number one, they got to be attracted to you.
Yes.
If the woman is not sexually attracted to you and she is not looking up to you, like she don't like how you live, like she's got to be sexually attracted to you, but then even how you live has to be attracted to her. Like you can't be like some nerdy dude giving her instructions. Like she gonna be like, fuck you. I don't even care about balancing a checkbook from you. But if a real player that knows how to fuck her, she's attracted to him sexually, and she can see like this guy is not easily bothered, he's not easily swayed, he's emotionally disciplined, like I can trust this guy to coach me, okay, then she's gonna do it with him. So I wanted to use the Antonio Brown analogy that, hey, he wasn't gonna get another job, man. He was self-destructing. And this goes for men and women. Women self-destruct, men self-destruct. And so Tom and him formed a relationship. Tom lives the cleanest life of it. I mean, he lives a clean life, man. I don't even think he fucks his wife. Like, I don't even know if he fucks her, man. I don't even think he cares about her. He cares about getting another ring more than her.
Real talk.
But what I'm saying is that he brought him in. He built that trust. He probably had some very hard sit-down talks with him and said, hey, AB, this is your last chance, brother. This is your last chance. You got skills left. Let's get this ring. Stop fucking around. Stop hanging out with those people you hang around. Stop getting the opinions of those people. Stop caring about what they think of you. Stop living up to a standard that you'll never be able to live up in their eyes. They're losers. So, and then that trust began to form. And in many ways, he probably even tries to mimic Tom. I'll bet you Antonio Brown, if you talk to him now, every time
probably
Tom
a different
Brady
dude
comes up, there's a big smile on his face.
Yeah, man.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can. No. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm about done.
No, you're good.
If you talk to Antonio Brown and you say the name Tom Brady, I bet you a big smile comes to his face.
Of course.
Because in many ways, Tom was a savior to him. So he trusts Tom. He believes in Tom. Clearly, Tom is well established. He's the most established football player in the history of the league in terms of accomplishments, rings, and such. So it's that same way. You got to find somebody who's really attracted to you, who kind of still has some good years left, but they are ready for a change. They see like, hey, if I don't change now, it's never going to happen for me. So then you attract that person. You let them know it's my way or the highway. You clearly have demonstrated you don't know how to do it. So you're going to listen to everything I say. And if you listen to what I say, we're going to go and get this championship. So it has to be that same way with a woman.
Before I go to BOA, that is the perfect analogy. So Antonio Brown, who, by the way, his father is arena football legend, touchdown Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown scored the most touchdowns in, AFL history. But guess what? Eddie Brown was not a very good father. He was always on the road. Well, this means Antonio Brown was raised by what class? A single mother, which explains why Antonio Brown was an emotional wreck. So here's how Antonio Brown's relationships went, right? So he lost his virginity to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But then after he lost his virginity to the Steelers, he starts to say, oh, you know what? Other teams are kind of, recognizing my talent too. Other men want to mess with me too. So guess what? He started to act up. He's yelling at Ben Roethlisberger. He's yelling at offensive coordinator Todd Haley. They got him the fuck up out of there. Then what happened was he got in on a rebound in terms of relationships. So okay, so he's on the rebound and he gets picked up by the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders were that simp that just ignored everything he did in Pittsburgh. Yeah. They're like, listen, we don't care if you burned your feet because you sat in the cryo chamber for too long. We don't care about these domestic violence charges. We don't care about you shaking your dick at the paint truck. We don't care. Come to you, we're gonna love you unconditionally. And you know what Antonio did? He ran roughshod all over the Raiders, never touched the field for the Oakland Raiders. That was the simp. She played him, got up out of there. Then Tom Brady called. Tom Brady represents the true alpha male in the relationship. And without getting and EO, you gave the perfect soliloquy. But since Antonio Brown has been in Tampa, we haven't heard a peep from him. He hasn't gotten in trouble. And it's funny, because I almost forgot he was on the team until they were in the Super Bowl. Oh, that's right. They also have Antonio Brown. So Antonio Brown, to me, sports-wise, that is the quintessential example of an athlete, woman, who in the right situation can flourish. And Antonio Brown, he owes his career to Tom Brady, because without Tom Brady, Antonio's probably getting another trouble, just like a woman under the tutelage of a man with the red mindset owes him her life, because he protected her from herself. Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, that whole Bucks organization protects Antonio from himself, and look what he's doing now. Dude, 3 more good years and we might actually be talking about Antonio Brown as a future Hall of Famer again. Go figure. Yeah. BOA, what are your thoughts? Why do you think women need to be protected from themselves? Oh, yeah.
Building off the football analogy, man. Yeah. And just transitioning over into a conversation about women. Those are great points, man. Like you said, that's the perfect example. But you got to remember also that he was in New England with Brady for a minute.
Oh, that's right.
And he realized in New England that not only is Brady OG, but not only is Brady with a king mindset, he's plugged in with an OG like Bill Belichick.
That's right. That's right.
Ran the entire system.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. We talk about this all the time about being able to be, you could be as alpha, as much of a king, as much of whatever you want to be. But if you're not plugged in with other men who represent that, you're just some guy standing on the soapbox beating your damn chest about what you represent. So remembering that and then seeing Brady move on somewhere else, which was another power move. Okay, I'm Tom Brady. You're Bill. Let's see who can do it the best. That was a power move. You follow Brady and you realize that, okay, Brady's a prize.
That's right.
Brady's a gift from God. So we talk about being the prize to a woman all the time. That shit ain't enough. There's a bunch of men out here with a whole bunch of money who can fake the prize mentality.
Real talk.
By giving them enough shit. You got to be a gift from God to a broad, man. A broad got to feel like you the man she prayed for. She got to feel like when she was a little girl, 8 years old, and dreaming of her life, playing house and nurse with her cousins, that you was the man that was in her dreams. She see you. She know. She got this connection to you. Know why? Because you the best that she's ever known. She didn't even know men like you exist. So when we tell men you got to have your shit together in order to be in a position to lead a woman, we ain't talking about tricking off on the broad. We talking about being in a position where she knows in order to be with this man, the only way I can do it, I have to elevate to his level.
Wow. Very
At
nice.
that point, you give her something to shoot for that she'll work for. If you can't get a broad to work for you, now you ain't got yourself in, because she gonna work for somebody. If it ain't you, she gonna work for some other cat, but she gonna be working for herself. And when she work for herself, it always leads to self-destruction. You give a single woman $1 million, man, she'll be broke in 8 months. You give a woman that's under the tutelage of a wise man, of a king, give her $1 million before you know it, she ain't got but $200 the next month, but he got the rest of the money to flip it to another $1 million. And so if a woman doesn't look at you and say, okay, I can just put all of my eggs into this basket, you're going to have a woman, man, you constantly got to chastise like a fucking child. And I speak from experience, man. My main broad is 26. I'm in my 40s.
Real talk.
This is just the way it has to be. I told her when I first met, I said, look, your parents, they love you. I'm your daddy and your mama now.
Oh,
so whatever
shit.
you felt toward them, All that comes to me now. And we're going to take our time until you can wean yourself off of them. I'm going to give you time long as you're making progress. I'm going to give you time to wean yourself off. But at the same time, her ass is busy all the time, earning everything she get. We talk about this all the time. I say it on my channel. I know EO says it on his.
Yes, sir.
You have to put the broad to work, man. If she's not working, then her idle mind is the devil's playground, man, and you ain't got yourself
Twerking, baby.
trouble in your
I was
life,
gonna
bro.
say,
That's it.
EO, if she's not working, she's doing what?
I got a hoodie that says, if she ain't working, she's twerking.
She's
baby.
working.
She ain't-
Real talk. Real talk. Before I go to Jap here, you guys remember when I read that letter that Devin wrote to me? Devin describes her relationship with me literally. I have won the lottery. This is how she feels. She didn't, and I didn't put her up to that. She just decided to write that of her own free will and volition. You can do with that what you will, but that's what you have to be to a woman. You have to be a godsend. I won the lottery. I'm so lucky. Dev tells me this all the time. I do not deserve you. That's the mindset she's got to be in. Jap, why are women self-destructive? Why do they need to be protected from themselves?
It goes it goes back to one of my good friends. I've known him for a while. A lot of people don't know. I know him personally. Pimpin' Ken said if she doesn't have any instruction, she's gonna be headed to
Destruction.
self-destruction.
That's right.
So, they are not good drivers in their own driver's seat.
Okay.
They have got to be guided. They have got to, again, like if you let them lead, they won't succeed. It's just, I don't.
All right.
Like, you would never find just a woman that just bossed up and just did it on her own like that.
Right.
Always a guy. You know, even Oprah got Stedman. I'm pretty sure he's probably on her ass.
Dude, Stedman's still hitting it, man. You already know that.
You know, so I just don't see the leadership. I mean, and if it's to be proven wrong, then we would see more great men who come from single mothers.
But we don't.
Exactly. So usually single mothers ruin boys.
Oh,
and
yes.
their offspring. You never really see greatness unless they he went to the NBA, but he's still a fucking simp, or he's a fucking LeBron James or something. Like,
Listen, LeBron James, and we'll go to Kevin after this. LeBron James didn't succeed because of Gloria James. She succeeded in spite of Gloria James. Gloria James made the difficult decision to take LeBron as a 9 or a 10-year-old and let him live with his coach, because Gloria James knew that Gloria James was a fucking train wreck. Gloria James is such a fucking train wreck. She fucked Delonte West. Who is Delonte West? One of LeBron's teammates in the NBA for the Cleveland fucking Cavaliers. Your mama is fucking Delonte West. And that's not even on LeBron. This is how self-destructive women are. Savo, why are women self-destructive? Why do they need to be protected from themselves? And then we're going to go to Kendall for the next question.
Well, because part of female nature is they don't know what they want.
Right.
And consciously, they think they know what they want, but then the subconscious leads them in a different direction. So that's to start. And then to boot, it doesn't help that they prioritize excitement and they prioritize those endorphin hits. So that also fucks with her ability to pair bond with a guy properly if he doesn't lead properly. And when you don't lead properly, if she can't fully live in your frame, and like the other guys were saying, if you don't put her to work so she's not too busy and too caught up mentally in trying to satisfy you, that she's, like BO said, left to her devices because idle time doesn't sit well with them. When you prioritize excitement, it's difficult. It's difficult to stay out of trouble because everything that's exciting is troubling. The club life is excitement and danger is excitement. That's the big one. The big one that stuck out to me when I was thinking about this when you addressed this topic is women prioritize excitement, and danger is excitement, and negativity is excitement, and negative troubling shit is excitement. I mean, nearly everything that's bad for you is exciting.
That makes sense.
Generally, right?
Yeah, of course.
So if you can't lead in the proper way where she's too busy trying to do her part to earn you every day, and like BO says, she's left to idle time, or if you don't lead properly and she wants to press you, that's exciting. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And working against you is exciting if you're not working for her or if she's not working for you in a way that fits into your frame.
if she's not working, she's twerking. So Kendall, let's just say that I'm a 20-year-old kid. I say, Kendall, I saw how you moved on Temptation Island. I admire the hell out of that shit. You were smashing all these. Like I like your mindset. But you said on Donovan's show that women are self-destructive. I buy into that. So how do you, as a man, Mr. Kendall, me as 20-year-old Donovan, how do you keep women from self-destructing within the construct of a relationship?
Great question. So within the construct of a relationship, first, you need to make sure that you're settled yourself.
Bingo.
So if you don't know who you are, if you're not self-aware as a man, and you don't know your purpose, and you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, there's no way that you can lead because you're all over the place. So the first things first is to get yourself situated. So once you get yourself situated and you realize your value and your worth, you'll be able to lead a woman to the right way and the right direction. Because women aren't going to follow somebody like everyone was saying that they is not on a pedestal or that they don't look up to in a certain way. Women want to be sort of intimidated of their man, but respect their man.
That's all right.
And want to do whatever they can to further his agenda. So first thing first is get yourself situated. The second thing is obviously don't run around and be just sexually promiscuous with every single woman because you can get yourself lost in the sauce.
Okay.
It's find someone who can actually further your agenda and help get on your mission and what you're trying to accomplish too. So if your goal is to build businesses and do different things, having somebody with the same wants and needs as you that you can actually vibe with and that actually brings value, so where you can actually build something and you're not getting the woman that's going to make your life destructive too. So making sure yourself is centered and then finding the right woman that can fit the story that you're trying to build for your life.
Holy God.
I think what Don, I think what all of us are saying to sum it up is that women have to have like a fatherly fear.
Yes.
Of their man.
Yes.
And it's not a sense of imminent violence or anything like that. It's a fear of letting a man down. It's a fear of
getting left.
It's a fear of
going back to the streets.
Yeah,
there it is. Hey,
like,
real talk.
Like,
losing a sense of the future.
Ashamed. And when a woman respects you like to that degree, she's gonna be in a good position because normally she's led the right way.
Right.
I've noticed that the best women I've ever dated had fathers.
Okay. That's right.
They were scared of their fathers. And I talked to a couple old heads and they told me, you want to see some of the most strict women who move correctly, Asian women are super scared of their dads.
Okay.
And if all you have to tell her, like, you don't even have to talk to her, just tell her daddy. And they'll be walking around with their head down like they don't want to let them down. Like, it's just, so like having a fatherly fear.
And another thing, Don, that we have to remember, man, is that the worst thing for a woman to feel is that she doesn't measure up. She's not good enough.
Right.
Like that just does something to a woman to feel like, the first thing comes out of a woman's mind when she has a man who cheats on her. And yes, you can cheat on a woman. If you're a lying sack of shit and you tell the woman it's one way and it's another way, yes, you're that guy.
Okay.
But the first thing she wonders is what the other woman has that she doesn't. Why isn't she good enough?
Right.
If you constantly keep her on the edge of, oh, I'm almost there. Oh, nope, there's some more shit to do. It's just reward and punishment. It's simply just reward and punishment. They function like puppies.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
listen, I'm gonna say it.
Bitches, but
check this out. I'm gonna say it. They function like puppies, so they must be trained. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. Listen, people.
I'm trying to think of a slick way to say it. You just put that shit out.
Nah, hey, listen, ain't no slick way to do it.
Last night I called him a senior dog. I called them senior dogs and puppies.
Hey, real talk, man. Hey, man. Hey, look. I had to rescue mine from the kennel, but EO Kendall said exactly what you say all the time, with it beginning and ending with the man. One thing Kendall said on Temptation Island, he said, "Look, man, I'm responsible for my relationship. She's a representative of me, so I got to make sure she's right." But the first thing in his mind is before you can lead a woman, you need to be together yourself. Talk about the importance of that and then talk about what's necessary to protect a woman from herself. How would you do that?
Yeah, this is like my bread and butter right here. So
let's do it.
I always say that the man has to be the gleaming example of the standard.
Okay.
You can't tell someone to be punctual when you're late all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't tell somebody to chill when you overreact when something doesn't go your way.
Uh-oh.
You know, that's being a good coach. It's like you have to be the gleaming example of the standard as often as you can. Now, we're human. You know, there might be a moment that you break, and you know, but then you recalibrate. You do it fairly quickly,
or a
she
few
don't even
moments.
see it. Like she don't even see it. Like you're so good at it that even if you have a moment, even a man knows to exit a room, go in another room, and gather himself, and then go back out to do his manly work. So, you know, the number one thing is you have to be the gleaming example of the standard, because you can't. Women will not listen. See, women will hear you say this is the productive way, but now they want to see you do it.
Right.
Just like anything,
Right.
they want to watch it be done. Everybody wants proof. You know, everybody, all human beings want proof.
Of course.
If you say something is possible, now they want you to show them it's possible. Okay, so show her this is possible. I do this all the time, and plus that makes her feel less insecure. Here's the other thing about making a woman feel insecure. I am all for, and I teach how to insert drama in the relationship, so that way she has that drama.
Yep.
I talk about it all the time, that you have to strategically insert drama into the relationship that is tailored to your woman's personality, so she doesn't go outside of the relationship to get
To
that
seek the
rush.
drama. There you go.
So
There
you
go.
have to find out what makes her feel upset, and introduce little things that are not going to obviously hurt her, but things that make her sweat things, worry about things, give her that rush. And because if she doesn't have that, that's when she goes to her job and is complaining about other shit. You don't want her to do that. You want to exhaust her emotions. So that way, when she gets to work and they're talking about their husbands because they're all simps, she has nothing bad to say because you've already exhausted her emotions at home. Okay. And then the third thing is you want to make sure that you tell the woman that she is doing a good job when she does a good job.
Yes.
Because if the woman feels like she can never do anything right, she will self-sabotage and leave the relationship. And that's actually being a bad coach too. Like you want to tell, like, look at a coach when the players are coming off with a 3 and out.
Okay.
You know, coach is like, yeah, good job. All right, cool. You know, we did that shit. You want to praise your employees. Man.
Of course.
When they do a good job, praise them. When they don't do a good job, you got to pull them to the side. You got to be firm, okay, and you got to give them those verbal warnings, okay. And then the next time you put them on paper. So and at some point you got to, hey, the contract's done. So remember to give them that validation.
Yes.
Women need it. They got to have it.
Yes.
And so a good coach knows when to give it to them. A good coach also knows when not to give it to them because they didn't deserve it, or maybe they just got enough for now. Okay. You don't want to over-validate because then they get complacent.
Of course not.
So you want, even if they continue to do a good job, really, guys, I'll finish with this.
No, go ahead. Take your time, man.
If she's with you, she's got to do certain things.
Yes.
I mean, it's like you don't praise making me some food. I mean, we
Boom!
gotta eat.
Oh my God.
Be a nurturer.
Dude.
I mean, you don't have to praise that shit. But I'm talking about extra shit.
Yes.
Like you made the motherfucker drive 60 miles to go get you a tie.
Right.
Like, right. I mean, just you put her on some extracurricular jobs. Then now you want to reward appropriately because a good boss does that.
Listen, before I go to BOA, and I want to get BOA's take on this. In my 5-hour 7-hour 5-part audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up, one thing that I make extra crystal clear is that you should never praise a woman for shit she should be doing anyway, right? Oh my God, thank you so much for picking up a bottle of water for me. All you have to do is say, hey, thanks, babe, appreciate that, right? By the same token, you don't want to overtax her on the other end. So the percentage goes like this. When your woman does something worthy of praise, you reward and or praise her maybe 50 to 60% of the time. The other 40%, just give her verbal acknowledgement. Thanks, appreciate that. Don't make a big fucking production out of it. But when she fucks up, it is absolutely paramount that you punish her no less than 148% of the time. You reward sparsely, you punish frequently. That's the only way she's going to get the message, because when you do that, when you say thanks, appreciate that, that's going to mean the fucking world to her. So in your opinion, BOA, what's the first thing that a man should learn in terms of keeping a woman from self-destructing?
First thing you got to learn, man, is you don't let shit slide.
Hell no.
Now, I'll say this.
Hell
when
no.
you first meet a woman, You cannot expect a woman to know everything
That's
about
correct.
how you run your ship. Because 9 times out of 10, she coming out of some shipwreck shit. They got a hole in the bottom. Motherfucker had a scoop of water out the bottom of the bitch the whole time she was with him to keep the whole ship from sinking.
Right.
So you got to give a woman time to learn. You got to give her a probationary period, just
Right.
like any other job.
That's right.
You know, you give her time to learn the process, and as long as she's teachable, then you just keep teaching her, man. As long as she learning, you have to. Nobody's gonna go. I don't give a fuck how smart you are. You're not gonna walk on a university and get your degree in 1 year.
No.
You got to stay at that motherfucker.
That's right.
Maybe you can bust your ass and get in 3.5. Maybe if you have no life and you can just go hard at it. But you're not gonna go in there in 1 year. So you have to understand now. If she don't know shit, I'm not taking a grown woman, man, to train her own shit from ground
Nah.
zero where she don't know nothing.
Can't do it. Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Nope.
not doing that, man. You might as well, shit. I got a son, man. I'm already training like that. I don't want to do that shit with nobody else's daughter, man. So
Who the fuck's
but
got time for
you have
that?
to understand that your life is your business. You got to run that shit like a Fortune 500 company.
That's right.
You cannot afford just random fuck ups because it can sink your whole company. And if you spend 20 years building your life to where it is, or 30 years or 40 years building your life to where it is, man, if your shit hit rock bottom, you're not going to come back up from rock bottom. And that's how you have to view it. Anytime you let her slide with something, listen, man, you give a woman an inch, she want 2. You give her 2, she want 3. You give her 3, she want a mile. You give her a
Shit.
driver's license, bitch, wanna fly the space shuttle. Tell you have to keep in mind, man, that, and it's not being hard on a woman because,
Sure.
like Donovan said, like EO said, you are rewarding her when she does well. But when she does something, bitch only get one reward from me for that. Like that, okay, you've
Real
done
talk.
that. Now that you've done it, that's a part of the system now. I'm not gonna keep rewarding you
No.
for that. That's something you've learned. I rewarded you for learning. I don't reward her for tasks. I reward her for learning habits. When shit becomes a habit that she should know, bam, she gets reward for that. But she's always working so hard, and I'm so just detached on the other end. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate praising my woman, man. I hate that shit. I don't like to do it because I'm selfish as fuck and I'm cocky. And I
Sure.
feel like everything she does, she should do that shit just because. But on the erring on the side of not running every broad out of my damn life because I don't never give them nothing back. I reward her, man, for these habits, and habits they take a longer time than just reward her for every single act. It may take her, 2-3 weeks, a month to get a new habit. But she's living such an amazing life whenever she's with me. that
there it
just
is.
being with me,
That's
is a
the
fucking
reward.
reward enough to keep her satiated and satisfied until she reaches another reward point. So the first thing, don't let shit slide. So what if you can't lose a woman? That
Right.
whole shit about I don't want to lose the woman. You didn't build the bitch. You didn't birth her. Like you ain't lose her. Shit, man. What you're losing is a headache.
Right.
So just stick to your guns, man. You owe it to yourself to stick to your guns. If you could do it with women, you could do it in life. You could do it in business. You're on your way to fucking success in every area of your life.
Before I go to
Hey, D, real quick, 10 seconds.
yeah, go
if you
ahead.
don't mind.
No,
Just
go
real
ahead. Go
quick.
ahead.
I want to throw this in because this is really important. Pay attention to the vigor that a woman has when she's performing a task. Because you can get a woman to perform
yes.
a task, but
Oh,
she got an
yes.
attitude when she's doing it.
Mm.
Okay, that motherfucker's got to go. All right?
Dude.
So but if you got a woman that's so excited to do this shit, like she'll go outside and fucking sand wall, or not sand wall. What do you call it? Power wash.
Drywall, yeah, power wash, yeah.
I mean, like, if you got a woman that will do odd jobs, dirty jobs, and come over there with some fucking bib overalls on with a tool belt, like that, I mean, but she's sexy too. But
Right.
I always say, get them workers, boy. Get that woman that
Hey.
can be dirty for you, and she cleans up and sexy as fuck too. That's the ultimate woman, really. It ain't that pretty bitch that's a 10 that
Right, that don't do nothing.
It's that chick that can get her hands dirty, get down there and scrub some grout for you, and she
Yo.
can do it with a smile.
This is what I love about EO, man.
Yeah.
EO is about putting the bitch to, like, bitch, go hang me some
because-
shingles, put up some drywall type
Right,
shit.
because
I
they're
love it.
and it truth
I
be
love
told,
it.
you're doing her a favor too, and you're securing the relationship. because
Sure.
The more she does, the more invested she is, the more she treasures you. The
Yeah,
more
of
she's
course.
learning
Of
about
course.
life too.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
you think bitches don't know that they're self-destructive. They know they ain't got it right. And then so when she's sexually attracted to you, sees you as God, like VOA said.
Yep, that's right.
And then you got her working like this, and she's whistling while she works. She's got that vigor. This is the woman you want to cater to. But understand this, men, you're gonna have to train yourself to want to stay there, because human nature is we tend to want to go toward things that resist us.
Yes.
So keep this in mind, man, that get used to
Wow,
a woman
good
treating you
point.
good.
Good
because
point.
when you're new in the game, you'll probably I hear this all the time because I coach these motherfuckers. And
Right,
shout
right.
out to all my clients. I love them, but I gotta call them motherfuckers sometimes. But they're like, she calls me too much. She texts me too much. Like, she wants to see me too much. I'm like, all right, what you want, a bitch that don't want to see you?
Right.
You
Right.
Want, you want a bitch that you a masochist?
Welcome to
You
alpha
want a
male
bitch to
problems,
abuse you
fam.
or some shit?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So and I gotta train them like, hey, you gotta rewire your brain about feeling good and getting used to women wanting to be with you. So I just wanted to say that there's a difference between a woman being happy doing a job for you or doing it, but she ain't happy doing it.
Real talk. Before I go to Jap here, it's something that BOA said, and I think everybody would agree. The reason why men like to reward their women for every little thing they do is because they know deep down there's no innate reward that comes with being with them. They know that they are falling short in other areas. And so to compensate for their shortcomings, they reward their women for going and getting me a Coke out of the fridge or actually making dinner for a change, knowing that after the reward is done, oh shit, I don't have a curveball. There's nothing else for... No. Look, I'll reward my woman. But like I said, my woman sees me as winning the lottery. Does she like rewards? Absolutely. She's got 2 and 3 Coach bags in there. That's perfectly fine. But just being with me is reward enough. And if you're a man and you know you have your shit together, then you already know that she knows. All right, well, listen, just by being with this motherfucker, I'm winning. So anything I get is just an added bonus. That's when you get the whistle while you work. And sometimes I'll have Devin get dressed up or whatever the case may be. And if I see that she's not really whistling while she works, so to speak, I'll just call the shit off and I'm like, okay, we're not going to fuck for the next week or so. Then the next time I tell her to put on X, Y, and Z, whether she feels like doing it or not, guess what? She sure pretends real good. So that's sort of a way that I do things. Jap, in your opinion, what's the number one thing a man needs to understand to keep his woman from being self-destructive?
What I was going to mention was that the blueprint has already been laid out. The loyalty with your average woman, your average independent woman, your average diva, your average
basic bitch
is her employer.
Yep.
Her employer.
Oh, wow.
Her employer,
wow.
if you take the model of her employer and you look at how she changes her demeanor, how she shows up on time.
This is next level, guys.
How she's always
looking
always
good, smelling good.
Herself,
yeah, man.
Improve herself to be better for her employer. And how loyal and faithful they are to jobs, just name tags.
Yep.
If you could be the name tag hander outer.
Love the technical term. Love it.
You can organize your situation to that because all her loyalty is to a job.
All of it.
Time she talks her best, she looks her best.
Yep.
She overworks everything. If she could do that for you, then you got something. And typically, jobs don't reward these women. Right? They kind of die alone.
Right.
Be her employer.
I like that, man. Savo, you're a young guy. In your opinion, what does it really take to protect a woman from herself?
Well, I'm sitting here listening and I'm realizing, man, this is a lot for most young cats to take in.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Definitely elite level game. And while I'm listening to the great points you guys are making, I'm imagining some guys that want to turn their situation around. They want to turn their situation around with their woman, taking notes on all of this. And I'm thinking to myself, how are you going to commit this to, not just commit it to memory, so you don't always have to look over everything that was just said here, but how are you going to get it to come natural? And that first comes with truly making yourself high value. So you take yourself seriously enough to know that your woman needs to take you just as serious. But then secondly, I would say referring to this business model of this way of looking at relationships as a business model is your go-to way of making it come natural and make sense, like everybody's pointed out. And I think that starts early on. So what I'm going to say is, if a relationship usually begins and performs and ends the same way as employment, then a date is like a job interview. But I don't think a lot of guys look at themselves as the hiring manager in that situation. So if you look at a date like it's a job interview, someone's the hiring manager and somebody's looking for employment. And I think for the longest time, guys have just handed over that position to the woman right there when they first start dating. You're the hiring manager. Can I be good enough for this job? How can I impress and make sure I get this job? Like you go in a job interview, you bullshit that you're always on time. You always do this. You always do that. The man needs to take the position of the hiring manager when he first starts seeing her, because it's going to be very difficult to double back. If you just have this situation with a woman where you're first starting to see each other, you let her be the hiring manager, you're not conducting it like a business. Once you're really involved and you realize you want respect, you want things to work a certain way, you want her to follow your lead, but you didn't set the groundwork for that when you were first building this sort of business model. So I think it needs to start early because it's going to be very difficult to double back.
Oh, good God, man! I was not expecting that kind of fire. Last question for the panel. Then we'll read super chats and then we'll go ahead and end it for the day. We'll keep it high and tight because I gotta call Hotep to make sure he's all right. Kendall, in terms of if you could tell one guy, if there's one personality trait a man must have to keep a woman from destroying herself and said man, what's the one personality trait that you would advise men to either have or acquire?
I would say it's a great question.
Yeah, because there's so many, right?
The number one thing with me, there is, but I would say the number one thing is,
it's a tough one.
Yeah, there's literally so many.
See, the longer you think about it, the more you're thinking about it. I'll tell you what. I'll come back to you.
I can start it off.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let Kendall off. Come back to him.
Can you restate the question?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure absolutely. What's the number one characteristic trait, personality trait a man has to have to keep a woman from destroying herself, being self-destructive in a relationship?
All right, so I'm gonna answer like this because the first thing that came to mind. It's the ability to be alone.
Ooh,
because
wow.
If you can't be alone and you can't be a happy man alone, you'll never be able to do these things we're talking about.
Okay, that's right.
You'll always give in. You'll say something and then you'll falter on it. You won't be able to reinforce the boundaries and the standards and the principles, and not just boundaries. I mean, boundaries are necessary, but there's also some good things you introduce to a relationship.
Sure.
Some beautiful things, some enjoyable things, some things that help you both individually grow and grow as a unit. But if you can't be that guy that's living that dope life that I talk about, that you romance all of this shit before you meet the woman, you'll never be able to do any of this stuff. So the number one thing in my view is just you can be happy, content. You can replace her. You can be alone. You
can thrive in solitude.
This is the big time thing I want guys to know, because a lot of guys say, kings don't chase, we replace.
Right.
I agree with that, but why you got to run to another woman to be happy? Why can't you just chill? Why can't the more superior mindset to even that is that I don't even need her at all.
Wow.
Okay? I don't even need her at all. I like her. I want her as long as, I'm the coach and she's adhering. But if for some reason I got to cut her, I got to cut that contract, whatever. I got to release her, put her back on free agency.
That's whatever. Right. Demoted to the practice squad.
Franchise tag her ass. I ain't putting the tag on her nothing.
I love it.
So then, but I could be cool. I could be cool without her. So in my opinion, no man is going to be able to reinforce any of these things that we discussed tonight if he doesn't have the ability and the peace to be with himself.
Okay, I'm going to go to Sabo, then I'll go back to Kendall, because I think Kendall... Oh, do you have something, Kendall?
Yeah, but I can go after him. It doesn't matter.
Okay, all right, Sabo. The personality trait that is the most important a man has to have to keep a woman from self-destructing.
I just got to completely agree with EO because I think he summed it up really good. And just to add on to it, you got to remember, look at the topic we're discussing here, how women can be self-destructive. Why can women be self-destructive? Because they don't know what they want. They don't know how to heal their emotions. They don't know how to deal with their shit. And they need to seek excitement to deal with everything. They need to get reckless to deal with everything when they don't know how to handle their own shit or what they're conflicted with. So what EO just said makes you think. You want to make sure that you're not conducting yourself like a woman if you can't be alone. If you wind up in the same position, you could wind up and I've done it in my younger years. Just like most of what we talk about are like tales from the beta crypts of like when we did this shit. You know what I mean? You definitely don't want to be on the same level as a woman and be you're conflicted, you're frustrated, you're heartbroken, you're not happy in your situation with your woman, so you leave your woman, but you've got to run out and you've got to get drunk and you've got to party with 3 different bitches, and that's how you're gonna be okay again. So you don't want to put yourself on that same level either, because you're going to wind up in a situation with a woman eventually, again, where you're going to want respect and you're going to want things to work and you're going to want her to live in your frame. And yet again, you'll be caught in that cycle of never knowing how to fully put down that groundwork so it can be possible.
Wow. Good God. The young guy's coming up big. Kendall. So you've heard a couple of opinions. What's one that you can maybe, because I agree with you, there's like 100 I can think of. What's the most important to you?
Yeah, so I'll just be all the way honest. So one thing that I struggled with in the past is I've always mentioned all the negative things that the woman was doing, and I had a hard time mentioning positive. So I remember someone said earlier, "Oh, I don't like praising my woman. It's really hard." So that's something I even personally struggled with. So the first word that popped in my head, even when you asked, I was just thinking of something more, but it's just really being assertive, because I feel like women always want things packaged in a certain way, and they're focused on the package instead of the intent and the material that they need. They want the butterflies and rainbows. And some things, it's not always going to be butterflies and rainbows for you to change this bad negative habit. So if you're just rewarding them for every little thing that they do, and they don't like the way it's coming because you're being so hard on them, if you're making a mistake every single day and it's mentioned every single day, that's what it takes to get out of that bad habit. So the dichotomy between understanding that one thing needs more energy than something else, and being able to assertively tell that woman that, I think is a huge thing, because they see the importance of that and it's actually able to adjust their lifestyle.
Wow. And a lot of guys are afraid, again, a lot of guys are afraid to be assertive because they're afraid to be alone. All of this works symbiotically. You can't really have one without the other. If you're afraid to be alone, then you're going to be afraid to speak up. And I think that's probably why you got a lot. And it's funny because that was one thing that Erica sort of criticized you about. Well, he's always pointing out my shortcomings and downfalls. Well, to me, and listen, no disrespect to your girl, but it sounded like she wanted Kendall without doing what was required, right? Erica's she's attractive, but being attractive has it can never be enough for you to give a woman your best. Because if you're gonna give me, if I expect you to give me your best, I'm gonna give you my best. So I'm 100% in agreement on that one. Jap, what is the one personality trait a man must have, the most important to Minister Jap, to keep a woman from self-destructing?
I don't know if it's I don't know if I'm wording it correctly, but I would say you almost have to be a father.
Okay.
Because and a lot of people don't get it like that. You don't negotiate with your kids. You teach.
Right.
You instill. And I think that being a man to a woman, you're her new father.
Okay.
And a lot of women, that's one of their big shortcomings. They try to get a guy, but they don't, they never had a father or whatever like that. So then they seek refuge in men that tell them what to do, and they tell them the wrong things. I think like I said, I always treat women like children and pets.
Yep. That's it.
And, again, your children are going to go out and do what you taught them. And if you're a man of principle, you can instill that, because like I said, a woman is going to be a reflection of you.
That's all right.
So if she's not reflecting you, she's neglecting you. And then at the same time, some of these guys getting checked by their women. So like, end of the day, I feel like it's almost a light level fatherhood that you almost have to take on when you're dealing with a lot of these women, because again, they don't know what they're doing. They can't drive.
A lot of bitches out here driving don't have.
Can I jump in real quick and just say?
Go ahead, Sabo.
So it seems like, to sum it all up, we're all in agreement. The go-to metaphor for making this easy to understand, because there's a lot for dudes that have never really been able to pull this off, to take in fatherhood or employment, or maintaining employment.
I like it.
You're the employer. And it's real simple when you break it down like that, like Jap just broke it down, or like I broke it down, or EO broke it down.
Mm-hmm.
You can just apply everything that you're dealing with, your process with your woman. You can apply everything to, how would this fly at a job, or how would this fly with your dad?
Mm-hmm.
And if it wouldn't, this shouldn't fly in your situation.
Wow, that's a great.
But the guy that runs the company and the father who successfully brought up kids have more than done the right thing to earn the respect from
Wow.
their employees, from their kids. So you gotta make sure that you're eligible to maintain that kind of respect.
You gotta be a hellified company and a hellified father.
Listen, I'm telling you. Listen, this is and what Sabo just said there is it's important. And here's the thing, Sabo, you also mentioned something a little earlier. You don't. Every man starts at a point where you have to think your way through situations, just because you're inexperienced, right? It's almost like let's talk about the 2012 Seattle Seahawks and the 13 Seahawks defense. In 2012, the Seahawks had a really good defense. Had three young guys: Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, and Richard Sherman, second and third year guys. In their first few years, they were thinking, and they were okay. But by 2013, they were simply reacting. As soon as they saw something, they wouldn't even think. They would just do it. Again, with the 2000 Ravens, it was weird. You watch it in the Super Bowl. As soon as the ball is snapped, as soon as Kerry Collins has the ball in his hand, he hasn't indicated one way or another. You see Ray Lewis and Tony Siragusa and Ed Reed all running to the left. And sure enough, Brandon Jacobs runs into a brick wall. You're like, how the hell did they know? They're just reacting because they have that experience. When you can experience, when you can get yourself into enough situations where you can, it's almost like an internal computer. Bloop, I'm going to run this through. Would this fly at a company? Bloop, would this fly with my dad? That's when you're really, and I don't know, DeSavo said it best. Think to yourself before you react. Would what she did fly at her job? And or would what she did fly with a strong father? I think that's the comment of the night.
And real quick, I just slip in one last point.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said this in my book, Thought Crime. When a woman tries to test you by saying, dudes are hitting on me all the time, dudes are interested they're interested in me all the time, and I'm not getting what I need from you. It'd be like if you told your employer, like, there's a lot of other companies that want to hire me. All the time they're looking to hire me. I might take another interview. What would your employer say? He'd be like, it's fine.
Cool. Take another interview. There you go. There you go.
Hey, don't forget to let me chime in on it.
Oh, my bad, dude. My bad. Go ahead, BOA. Okay, so in BOA's opinion, what is the most important? Wow, you have great teeth. Holy shit, I just realized that. What do you think is the best, the number one personality trait a man must possess above all to keep a woman from self-destructing in a relationship?
My motto in the Alphasphere is this: is my way or no way, and no way is okay.
Okay. All right.
Period.
There you go.
It's gonna be my way or no way. At that job, if you own the company, fuck what anybody else says.
Real talk.
It's your way or no way. As a father running a household, at the moment your children don't want to follow your rules, they can get their ass out. It's your way or no way. The bottom line is the only way to do this, and you apply not only to just women, but to your entire life. When you were talking about the Ravens defense,
yes,
they pulled it together when they said, okay, when we get on this field, we don't give a shit what you doing on offense. We dominating this.
That's right.
Regardless of what you do. Legion of Boom.
That's real talk.
What you do, throw, run, pass. You can take a shit in the end zone. It doesn't
matter.
We come in and we're going to do what we want to do on this field. Michael Jordan spent 7 years falling out, losing.
Yep.
Got one player on this team said, okay, now I got what I need. Every time we get on this court, we're going to do whatever we want to do.
That's right.
You have to embrace the mindset in life that everything you want to do, you do it up to the point where you build yourself into this amazing fucking man who's got everything together. Here this woman comes into your life, man, she ain't contributed shit.
Nope.
What rights does she have? What rights does she deserve?
None.
She has the right to come in and do what the fuck she's told. And here's the reason why. You've already proven that you know how to make the proper decisions to advance yourself. And here it is. Her advancement ain't worth a shit.
No.
She's just a component to your further advancement. The moment you lose sight of that, you start doing shit on behalf of the woman. You start building a relationship on behalf of the woman, taking shit in her direction. That's how you end up putting some broad through school, not even realize her whole plan is to leave your dumb ass when you get through putting her through school. Because she want to go to school for nursing. Your ass don't need no nurse in your life. What you putting her to school to something that don't even benefit you? You have to do everything your way or no way. Is it harsh? Yes. To a woman who don't want to buy into your shit.
Oh!
A woman that's, as EO says, attracted to you, can't get enough for you, can't keep her hands off for you when you come around, man. You got to, man, listen, I just posted a little shot that came through my career, man. I'm in YouTube jail right now. I get out tomorrow, man. So,
we got you. Put money on the books.
She came through and gave me some conjugal visits, man.
Appreciate it.
What happened is, after a while, I don't want her touching me anymore.
Hmm.
I want her to be gone.
Right.
But she flew in. She can't go nowhere until it's time for her to leave. So I got to act like I like this shit. Like
Oh,
I'm
God.
enjoying her touching me as much as she's enjoying touching me. But it's only because she buys into the concept of my way or no way. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do in my life. For
What's
better
up?
or for worse. When the glory comes, I'm going to stand on my soapbox and say, hey, look what I did. Of course, with the glory, with the blessings from God. But look what
Of
I
course.
did. My team and I, look what we did. But when shit go bad, I'm going to absolve my team or whatever and say, damn, I got to make better decisions for us next time. Woman ain't going to never do that.
Hell no.
My way or no way is the key to all this shit. It sums up everything we've said tonight. My way or no way, but your way has to be good enough to fucking improve your life first.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
D, let me say something to
Yeah, go
BOA's
ahead.
point real quick. This
Sure,
is
go
a
ahead.
great example of what he just said. So many of you know I got married when I was 28. Okay, great learning experience.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was cool, and it wasn't bad at all. Shit.
Okay.
I ran that relationship, but when I first met that woman, she was a very successful woman. She was a millionaire. Okay, she had a
wow.
lot of money. She lived a great lifestyle. She had beautiful cars, homes, traveling. And at that time, I was attracted to that. I was 27 when I met her. So I remember when I met her, I did see her. She came to see me the first night, smashed.
Mhm.
She came to see me the next night. We watched Cat Williams on my floor drinking beers. And she was a rich woman. I had this motherfucker drinking like High Life and
Like
shit.
OE and
And
shit.
so yeah, I was out here drink that shit.
What
bitch.
you know about that
I was out
OE,
here
bro?
YouTube shit. Anyway, so I remember when she told me she said, "Oh, my home is up for sale. I'm moving." I said, "Oh yeah, where you moving?" And it was quite a distance. I swear to God, I looked dead at her face. I said, "Oh, I guess this is the last time we're gonna see each other then." And she said, "Why?" And I said, "I will never drive to your house.
Oh shit.
I just want you to know I will." And I was 27 when I said this
Wow.
shit. I looked right at her. I said, "Hey, I guess this is the last time I'm gonna see you, unless you're gonna come to me every single time." And she said, "Why?" I said, "Because that's too far. I'll never drive out there to go see you." I swear to God, 1 week later, she took her house off the market, was no longer interested in buying that house. She never bought that house and stayed in her
Wow.
home where she
There
lived.
you go. My way or no way. Listen, if a woman likes you enough, she will do or refrain from whatever it is she has to do. Let me read these super chats and then we'll give our final thoughts here. TechnoMage B5, $5 super chat says validating rightness is perhaps more important than invalidating wrongness because knowing when she's doing it right gives her wins and she can repeat. Unique 79 with 100 British pounds says one of the ways to protect a woman from herself is to not force the issue. It is her job to protect herself. What we can do is allow her to observe our actions, our lifestyle, and our direct way of speaking. This will leave her with the direction to conform to or not. I slightly disagree with that. It's not a woman's job to protect herself, because women are protecting themselves now, and they're a fucking dumpster fire, right? Like we've left women to their own devices, and women literally destroy everything they have direct control over. So I agree with your point, but I don't agree with it's a woman's job to protect herself because women are an abject disaster. Technomage B5, $10 says both you and her should be able to be happy when alone. My wife keeps busy with chores, kids, hobbies, activities with the family community, not bars and clubs when I'm at work or doing my thing. That's within the construct of a marriage. So if you guys are married, you guys know that you guys are married and you love each other. Yeah, you guys can be happy. If she's up in the den, maybe reading, you're downstairs doing whatever. So I certainly agree with that. Then Technomage B5. With the comment of the night says, being attractive for a woman is like wheels on a car. It's basic, not a deciding factor. Wow.
Let me say this to that point.
Shout out to Cat Williams.
Go
ahead.
I meant to say this when
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Talk when I had the floor. Attraction, and y'all guys got to remember this. Attraction is just her ticket to get in.
That's it. That's it. That's
After
it.
that, attraction is done. And if you don't enjoy fucking her, then she loses half of her ticket for
See
the
ya.
attraction.
That's right.
No, so I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never fucking attracted a woman that I didn't enjoy fucking. I'm just
Okay.
And so I mean, if I can't remember it. Maybe it was such a, as you say, dumpster fire that I blotted that shit out of my memory. But you have to understand, man, that her beauty is just the reason that you allowed her, the
Yes.
opportunity to be in your face, to have a conversation with you. After that, the work starts right there.
Yep. That's exactly right, man.
It's her ticket to get in. It's not her ticket to maintain you.
There. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. Say that again. Say that again, Sabo.
It's her ticket to get in, but it's not her ticket to maintain you.
Yes.
Like, that doesn't maintain you. Her looks don't maintain you on their own.
Attraction gets you in the door. It's the everything else part that keeps me around. That's the attitude that men have to have. Fantastic show tonight, guys. Thank you very much to our special guest, Kendall, the star of Temptation Island Season 3. Have you been approached by any other reality TV shows, dating shows, anything like that?
Yeah, I got hit up by a few people. There's some things I can't talk about.
Oh, shit. Listen, man, as soon as the shit goes public, you got to let me know, because we got to break that down, bruh. Holy shit. That's just something I just thought of. Wow. Wait, you're not the next Bachelor, are you?
No.
Okay, all right. I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, that's a fucking dumpster fire. Kendall, if you would, man, give me your final thoughts on tonight's topic and tell the people where they can find you, social media and whatnot.
Perfect. I think tonight's topic was so much value, especially for the younger generation, even the older generation. A lot of concepts that were taken to a different level, like this whole ideology of, the father relationship, or even as an employer. Right. I feel like that gets rid of so many issues and obstacles in a relationship, because I remember one time I was dealing with a girl and she was giving me a terrible attitude because it was that time of the month. And I explained to her, it's like, if you go to your job and it's that time of the month, are you going to cuss out your boss? Are you going to cuss out your manager? Are you going to cuss out your supervisor? And if you're not cussing them out, why are you cussing me out? So it's kind of that same relationship that you guys are explaining. So as soon as you guys were talking about it, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Wow. Because I used it before. So it's just so powerful, because it gets rid of so many different issues in a relationship where that balance and level of excellence and respect is there. And then lastly, there's one other point I was going to say. Yeah, man, there's just so many great outlooks, and I appreciate how it's not that we're just trying to command the woman, but we're actually trying to lead the woman to the right thing.
That's right.
So where it's fruitful for her life, and that she actually get real value from it. Not just, do what a man tells you to do. That's not bringing you any value, or he doesn't have his stuff together. It's, hey, if you come aboard this vision, your life is going to be fruitful. It's going to be great for you at the end of the day. So I just love that. And I appreciate you guys having me on. Follow me on Instagram. It's at Kenkirk, Kenkirk. Everybody on the panel, I want to follow everybody here. Great insight. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate that. Shout out to Jay Blaze on the Sharpstream site. He said, Erica and Alexis are alpha widowed. Actually, Erica, Alexis, and Nicole are alpha widowed by one Kendall Kirkland. Sabo, as the other young guy on the panel, what are your final thoughts? Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on the Fellas channel. The Adventures of Sabo channel is my sitcom. And relating to this point, if you want to get my audio book, it's called Thought Crime. Put in Kevin Sabo, Thought Crime. That's on Spotify,
okay. I'll add that to
iTunes.
your stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that's on Spotify, iTunes. The book is called Thought Crime. Or
THOT or THOUGHT?
Like how thought is usually spelled. THOU.
Oh, like as in thought. Okay, I thought you were talking about like thoughts, like
no, not thought. Thought crime.
I just had to make sure. You never know.
It's like what we're all guilty of in the sphere. It's
okay.
Like, it's like this is thought. It's like, have we committed a real crime? We just like thinking out loud.
You would think, right?
Right. So the book is called Thought Crime. That's the audiobook. You can get it on my channel, Sabo Central. It's on YouTube, or it's on iTunes and Spotify, wherever you want to listen to it. Chapter 2, I go into this, all the ways that a relationship is structured, whether you realize it is or not, very similar to how a business is structured. And I really follow that point home on how you need to treat it as such. I guess I'll wrap this up by giving one last comparison. I worked at a company one time. The boss had 20 employees. I'm one of 20. And he did everything he could to make us comfortable. What could I do to make you guys more comfortable? You can come in late if you want. Just don't be late for the meeting. Don't miss the meeting. But if you're a few minutes late, it's cool. And all right, I'll let you take a few more days off. And all right, you guys don't have clothes for the winter season. You're going to be working out in the cold. All right, I'll supply the clothes. He did everything he could to try to be everybody's homie. All 20 of us ended up just walking all over this dude. And we wound up with a job where we could do whatever the fuck we wanted. We can come in late, still got our job. We could leave early, still got our job. And then when he was trying to get that power back, we'd get all these emails. I'm done with the disrespect. I'm done with the this and that. And it was like, hey, brother, you going to fire all 20 of us?
Right.
Because then that's take a while to replace everybody.
That's
but
right.
The bottom line is I've seen companies fall apart from somebody trying to work with you. How can I make everybody feel good? And nobody wants to have a job where the boss is a hard ass, but it just don't work unless you respect him enough to respect your position to do what you got to do.
Real talk, man.
And
very well said.
That kind of structure can be applied to so much more than you think.
Very well said. Jap, final thoughts and tell the people where they can find you. Remix!
Well, my final thoughts is I just need you brothers and you guys out here to really start realizing that women can be instructed and they can take direction. They only take direction from the people they respect. When you look at women in the military, they talk to them like complete shit.
Yep.
But you have not heard a woman say the military is sexist and they treat us bad. No, because the benefits of what they got from that situation, they were willing to endure that shit. You know what I'm saying? The police department, the fire department, all of these places where these women get talked to crazy, but it brings the best out of them. So you guys got to understand that we got a job, and we gotta learn how to lead, and we gotta be somebody that actually is a leader, and be something worth listening to and following. Minister Jap, follow me on Instagram. This is Jappa. YouTube, Minister Jap. You know what we do.
All right, good shit, man. EO, final thoughts. Tell the people where they can find you, then we'll go to BOA.
Yeah, excellent show tonight, man. Great value here. It was very well balanced. Shout out to our guest. It was great to have
Absolutely,
you. And good commentary here tonight. You know, my motto is it begins and ends with the man. I'll take that to my grave. That'll probably be the last thing I say when I die.
Begins and ends with the man. God damn it!
It begins and ends with you. So, you know, it does. And you know, there's another analogy that came to my mind about, like, let's say they're doing an open casting call, because I've been in a movie too. And
oh shit, for real?
Let's say they're I was in Batman Begins. I was in the SWAT team. So it wasn't a pivotal role, but I was in the SWAT team in Batman Begins. Yeah, it was filmed in Chicago.
God damn, that's right. I'll be goddamn.
Yeah,
okay.
So, and I went there on a whim. I had no resume, nothing. I was on Cicero Avenue in Illinois.
Yeah.
And heard it on, I think, maybe GCI or something back. I heard like a open casting call right now for Batman Begins. I turned my car around. I had a tank top on. I had like jeans on. I walked in, no resume, and I got it because of my personality, my charm, and I was running game on the recruiters.
Of course,
you know,
of course,
running game on them. So it's this way. You know, you can have an open casting call. We're looking for a woman, 6 foot tall, blonde, fair skin. You could get 10 of them bitches in there, but the woman, and they all look good. They all fit the part, but it's how she does her lines. It's how she communicates.
That's right.
It's what kind of feeling did she leave with the people, and that's what's going to get her the jobs. So remember, it can never be looks. It's about her behavior. It's her personality. It's how fast she can adhere to instructions. This is what you should be looking for. So please don't let it be about looks, and don't sleep on sixes, man. I made a video a long time ago where I said some of the best women out there are overlooked. They're like sixes because you men expect women to come in beautiful. I never look at a woman fresh off the street, no matter how she looks, and to me, she's not beautiful. She is not beautiful until I create her. I'm like, you know, like in the Bible, it says God rested on the 7th day and He admired His work. So, and I told a client this the other day, until I've created that woman and I've tweaked all the things I needed to tweak, and I polished her up because, you know, she could be a diamond, but I polished her up. I fine-tuned some things. I got her thinking righteously. Now I can look at that and admire my work. I never admire a woman off the street. It's until she's under my leadership that I'll look at her and go, "You see that right there?"
Yo, you can listen, man. Listen. You have to tell me what your father's name is, because I swear to God, we got to be twins, homie. Dude, like this is exactly what I think. Like, don't get me wrong. Devin was attractive enough when I got her, but dude, every little tweak from what she wears to how she looks to what. Unbelievable, man. Like, seriously, you need to look at your
it's your responsibility to make her what you want her to be. I mean, because, you know, when you meet her, she's a representation of who she was with last.
Hell yeah. Oh, my God.
So now, you know, if you could take that experience, and hopefully there was some experience that you could take and leverage and utilize, but you got to make her into the product that you want to look at, that you want to be around. So I'll leave it with that. Good show. I'm Coach Yo. Just search it in YouTube. Coach Yo, you'll see my big ass head. If you like me, subscribe. My website is championgamecoaching.com. I got a hell of a
Yes, sir.
website, and I do coaching. So thank you so much.
Very good, man. This is why EO have elite level game. BOA, man, you're hitting cleanup, man. Final thoughts and tell the people where they can find you.
Look, man, I'll be out of jail tomorrow, man. So
We got you. You need somebody to come get you. You need somebody to come pick you up. You got to ride.
You know, I'm dropping now. I'm coming with that work, man. I got a new plug out of Columbia, man. I'm coming with that work.
Word.
So, you know, to give a real life example of what Jack was saying, man. And this is even more extreme than that. Got a cousin in ATL, man, owns a gym called Steel Mill.
Mm-hmm.
Every time a bodybuilding show comes up, he's got 5 to 6 girls placing first, second, third.
Wow.
In you know, in the, I guess it's fitness, you know, just natural bodybuilding, fitness with the girls with the bikinis on.
Yeah, right, of course.
And he gets them sometime, man, and they look like shit. And this guy's nuts. Like, he cusses them all out. Like, he talks to them like shit.
That's right.
And he tells me all the time, I talk to him like shit. They pay me and come back the next week for some more.
There you go.
Like, I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up and pick those weights up. You know, and that's how he talks to them. And they respond to it. Build themselves into the best version of themselves they've ever been. And they pay for it.
Yes.
So that's how extreme it is. That's how much women need that in their lives. That strict guidance. Not every woman want to be cussed out and all that shit, but it just goes to show that there is a certain strictness that a woman needs. And I'll say this, man. What men have got to get back to is judging women by their content of character.
Okay.
Because I tell men all the time, what would you think about the bitch if you went blind tomorrow?
Wow.
What would she mean to you at that point? You got to keep in mind, man, that when you meet a woman, you don't know what you say. You pick a woman up from the club, she could be the baddest broad in the club. You don't know what you got till you wake up in the morning and all that shit and wiped off her face on your pillowcase. You don't know what you got until then. So I say, man, just like bodybuilding, before you can build a body, you got to break it down. If you see a dilapidated house, before you can build another house on that foundation, you got to tear that shit down and rebuild.
Real talk,
That's
man.
the same thing you got to do to EO's point. You got to break a woman down to the best essence of who she is, so you can make sure she knows who the fuck she is.
God damn.
Before you can turn her into what you want her to be, you got to make sure she knows she's not what that last motherfucker
Man, I swear to God,
Strip
man.
all that shit away, build her up slowly from where you from the ground. And that's the only way you can trust a woman to follow your fucking lead. If you build it step by step and you know who she is through and through. Otherwise, you're taking on another man's trouble. I'll give you a quick example before I leave out of here, man. Had a broad tell me, man, she was cold with the dome game. I'm talking about
like
thorough.
Okay, all right.
Because of what the last dude told.
All right. So what that mouth do?
Shit was trash.
Oh,
trash.
God damn.
It was trash. And I took it as an opportunity to let her know that if you leave a job, if you're at a job, you could be the A1 employee at that job. You can go to another job doing the exact same thing. They use a totally different system.
They train you differently.
They don't want to hear what the fuck you did at the last job. You get yourself fired. Keep telling them that every day. So the main thing you have to do, man, you have to put yourself in a position where a woman knows that, like, you're just unlike anything she's ever known.
That's right.
That's the only way you're gonna let her realize just how dumb she is when it comes to being what you want her to be. Like, she's got to understand she don't know shit.
What BOA just described was my relationship. Dude, I had to good God, man. It's good to get this vindication. It's very, very good to get this vindication.
You know what, one thing, and BOA said it, and I thought it as I was going down the stairs earlier. You got to show a woman how whack she is. Like, you literally have to introduce her to her whackness.
Like, this is how
you got to say, you see this shit right here? You thought that shit was fly? That shit's whack as
fuck. Real talk.
Check this out, though. If you're under my leadership, I'm gonna polish that right up. If you watch Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Ike Turner,
Martin Lawrence,
they were sitting I think they were sitting near the piano or a desk or something, and he said, "Open your mouth for me." And she opened her mouth. She thought he was gonna kiss her and shit. He said, "Oh, when was the last time you went to the dentist?"
Oh,
and she thought she was gonna get a kiss. He was like, "Oh, I need to fix that grill up because you ain't going on stage representing me with some fucked up teeth." So you gotta show a woman how whack she is. The truth is, every motherfucking woman on earth, I'm gonna say it. Women are gonna hate me for it. I say it with love. Every single one of you are whack until you meet a man that knows who the fuck he is, and he knows how to build you right. Every single one of you are whack.
Now, really, the only thing I have to say about what Dr. BOA said, this will be my opening salvo. No, not every woman wants to be cursed out, but every bitch needs to be cussed out. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm Donovan Sharp. You guys can find me at donovansharp.com. This is my YouTube channel. My thanks to EO, Dr. BOA, Minister Jap, Kevin Savo, and our special guest, Kendall Kirkland. Thank you guys all very much for making the time to educate these men. I think I speak for everybody when I say, listen, I learn every time I'm on this show. Every single time I'm on this show. I'm Donovan Sharp, guys. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week.